Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today, we're tackling a question quite a few of you have asked. Is Poet Technologies a good time to buy now? We're going to really dissect the company's fundamentals, its valuation, the technicals, and what the future might hold. We're pulling insights from the latest stock analysis we've received. Before we dive in, just a quick note. If you find this discussion helpful, please remember to subscribe, like, and maybe leave a comment. Your support really helps us bring you more of these in-depth analyses. Also, if there's a specific company you'd like us to look into, definitely let us know in the comments below. And if you really appreciate our work, maybe consider buying us a coffee. It helps keep these conversations going. Okay, so let's unpack this. We're looking at Poet Technologies. They're operating in that high-tech photonic space. The analysis we have paints a pretty clear picture, but it's one that definitely needs some careful thought, especially for anyone thinking about investment potential here. To kick us off, let's start with the basics, right? The foundational stuff. The company's financial health, its competitive standing.
What do the latest numbers actually tell us about Poet's underlying business?
Yeah, it's interesting. What's truly fascinating here, I think, is the stark contrast you see in Poet Technologies' revenue figures. So on one hand, the company reported this really eye-catching year-over-year increase, like over 300% in its trailing 12 months revenue. That's TTM, their total sales over the past year. It reached almost $468,000.
Okay, 300% sounds impressive.
It does, but then you zoom in. Q2 2025 revenue, just under $269,000. And for even more context, their entire 2024 revenue was only about $41,000.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, while 300% growth grabs headlines, those absolute numbers are really, really small, especially like you said, compared to its market cap.
Exactly. They're incredibly small.
So with such modest sales figures, what does this actually mean for their path to profitability? Are they anywhere close?
Well, that raises the critical question, doesn't it, about their financial viability. Poet Technologies remains unprofitable. In Q2 2025, they reported a net loss of $17.3 million. That translates to a loss of $1.21 per share. That's their EPS.
17 million loss on less than 300,000 in revenue for the quarter.
Precisely. And what's concerning is that this loss is significantly wider compared to the $8.2 million loss in Q2 of 2024. So losses are actually growing despite that rising revenue percentage. And the current consensus estimates for Q3 2025, they project an EPS of negative $0.11. So no near-term expectation for them to break even, not at all.
Okay, so rising revenue percentage, but widening losses in absolute dollars. For any growing company, especially early stage like this, cash is obviously critical. What do the financials tell us about their liquidity, their debt situation?
Right. Connecting this to the bigger picture of their financial health, well, the latest financials don't show evidence of, significant traditional debt. That's one positive, maybe. But, and this is a big but, the company continues to generate negative cash flows.
Meaning they're burning cash.
They're burning through cash, yes, because of those persistent and pretty deep quarterly losses. So this inherently makes liquidity a significant concern. They're spending more than they're taking in. Without fresh funding, well, that can't go on forever.
That's a definite red flag. And in a high-tech sector like photonics, competition is fierce. Where does Poet actually stand competitively, especially with such low revenue?
Yeah, it's a very cutting-edge space they're in, photonics related. And they have, highlighted progress in manufacturing capabilities, customer engagements, things like that. However, their competitive advantage is still, I'd say, largely unproven at scale.
Unproven how?
Well, with negligible revenue and these continuous losses, they just aren't demonstrating market leadership or a strong moat, a sustainable advantage. Not yet, anyway. This really places them firmly in what I'd call a speculative category. They're heavily reliant on their core technology, getting massive validation, and then, crucially, successfully commercializing it in a big way.
Okay, so given these fundamentals, minimal revenue, widening losses, unproven competitive edge, how do we even start to value a company like this? What do the valuation ratios tell us? What's the market thinking?
Well, the most telling metric available, and honestly, it's pretty astonishing, is the price-to-sales ratio, the PS ratio. It stands at an eye-watering 980.61.
Wait, 980?
980.61, yes. To put that in perspective, Imagine buying something that brings in just $1 a year. Pewett's PS ratio is like paying nearly $1,000 for that $1 of annual revenue.
That's extreme.
It is. Even for like really early stage growth companies in high growth tech or photonics, typical PS ratios are usually single digits, maybe low double digits if there's huge hype. So this suggests an incredibly rich valuation. It's just not underpinned by any current revenues or profitability. It's pricing in a colossal amount of future success that frankly hasn't materialized yet.
Wow, that number is truly staggering. It really sounds like the market is betting on a grand slam home run that hasn't even seen the first pitch. What about other traditional valuation metrics, PE or book value?
Exactly. And, well, the price to earnings ratio, the PE, isn't even applicable here. They have negative earnings, right? So you can't calculate a meaningful multiple. And their book value, basically assets minus liabilities, it's likely eroding because of the ongoing losses.
Right.
So any traditional valuation model, like a discounted cash flow or DCF, it would result in highly speculative valuations. Those models would be entirely reliant on extremely optimistic assumptions about future revenue, future profit margins, assumptions that just aren't supported by any demonstrated performance in their current financials.
Okay, so fundamentally and from a valuation standpoint, the picture is screaming extreme caution loudly. Let's shift gears then to the stock's actual behavior, how it trades, what does its chart generally look like, how has the stock been moving recently?
Okay, so as of August 15th, 2025, the stock was quoted around $5.05. But given its, negligible revenue and low liquidity, it experiences very high volatility. Think of it like a tiny boat in a really stormy sea. Small inputs cause huge waves.
Right, microcap behavior.
Exactly. While we don't have exact minute-by-minute chart data in front of us, similar microcaps, these very small companies, often low trading volume, they can see broad, unpredictable moves. We've seen an estimated range recently, maybe between $4 and $7. You might find some support just below $4, sort of a floor where buying interest could step in, and maybe resistance near $7 where sellers tend to emerge. But honestly, these levels are highly fluid. They can change really rapidly with any piece of news or shift in sentiment. Don't rely too heavily on them.
So definitely not a stock for a smooth, predictable ride then. What about the overall trend? Is it trending up, down, sideways?
The overall trend for Pewett Technologies likely remains, I'd say, sideways to maybe weakly downward. That's generally what you see with companies facing ongoing losses and carrying such a speculative valuation. And with such low trading volume, limited market participation, you should just expect extreme volatility and wide bid-ask spreads too.
Meaning it can be harder to buy or sell at the price you want.
Precisely. This kind of early-stage microcap behavior means sharp, unpredictable swings on any news, good or bad, and traditional trend analysis. It's just less reliable here. It tends to move more on whispers and announcements than on, sustained fundamental shifts.
Okay. Given all that volatility and the speculative nature, what's been making headlines for Pewett Technologies recently? Any major news? Analysts' coverage that might be influencing things?
Well, the most significant recent news was probably those Q2 2025 financials we talked about, which, again, reiterated the losses and showed only marginal revenue gains. Not exactly blockbuster news. However, management did make claims about progress in manufacturing capabilities, and they hinted at potential future contracts. That's key.
Hints, though, not confirmed deals.
Hints, yes. Crucially, there haven't been any major analyst upgrades or formal ratings following these results. Analyst coverage is likely very limited, maybe non-existent, which is pretty common for companies of this size and stage.
Right. And what about the general feeling around the stock? Among investors, maybe chatter on social media. Is there a strong buzz, positive or negative? Or is it more under the radar?
Well, our analysis doesn't detail specific social media sentiment counts or anything, but given the volatility and the whole speculative narrative, you can generally expect mixed to perhaps negative sentiment among institutional traders. They tend to prioritize proven fundamentals, which aren't there yet.
Makes sense.
For retail investors, it's probably a more polarized story. You'll have some folks really excited by the technology's promise, the potential upside, and others very wary of the financial risks. Also, there's no explicit insider buying or selling reported recently, which can sometimes offer valuable clues about management's own confidence. Nothing significant there.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for anyone looking at this, right? The potential future. What are the potential events or catalysts that could significantly impact Pewett Technologies' trajectory? Well, short-term and longer term. What could actually change this picture?
Yeah, this is the crux of the speculative bet. In the short term, the next earnings report, Q3 2025, That will be a key event. It could cause significant volatility depending on whether they show any kind of revenue inflection point or maybe some improvement in reducing those losses.
So watch the numbers closely.
Definitely. But the absolute biggest short-term catalyst, that would be any announcement of material commercial contracts or, concrete progress in customer engagements that leads to real orders. Management has hinted at these things. If they land a firm, significant order, that could spark massive rallies regardless of the current financials.
Right. Proof of concept translating into actual business. And looking further out, beyond the next quarter or two, what could be the true game changers for a company like Poetic?
Long-term, the biggest catalyst by far would be successful product commercialization. That means demonstrating recurring, significant commercial sales from their photonics and semiconductor technology. They absolutely need to prove their tech can be widely adopted and generate real, sustainable revenue.
That's the ultimate validation.
It is. Also, as a tech microcap with potentially valuable intellectual property, POET could become a target for acquisition. If its core technology proves to have strategic value to a larger player in the semiconductor or photonic space, that could be an exit. And lastly, broader trends matter. Positive regulatory shifts or maybe large-scale tech adoption trends across optical telecommunications or the semiconductor sectors that could significantly boost sentiment and demand for their kind of solutions, lifting the whole boat.
Okay, lots of potential ifs there.
Right.
So let's flip it around. For someone considering this stuff, what are the major risks, the things you absolutely need to be aware of? What are the biggest red flags waving?
The analysis really highlights several critical risks, and investors need to take these very seriously, stock-specific risks. Well, there's extreme revenue concentration, coupled with very low absolute revenue. If, say, one potential big customer doesn't pan out, their tiny revenue could basically vanish.
High dependence.
Very high. Then there are those deep and currently growing net losses, which, as we discussed, leads straight to possible liquidity concerns and the likely need for more capital down the line. Execution risk on product commercialization is exceptionally high. They still need to prove they can scale manufacturing and sales effectively. It's a huge hurdle.
Going from lab to market is tough.
Incredibly tough. And finally, just being a microcap with low volume means there's very high sensitivity to single news events. That leads to extreme volatility. It really feels like a binary outcome situation. Either they succeed spectacularly against the odds, or they could just fade away.
Okay, those are the company-specific risks. What about broader market or sector risks that could impact POE, even if they do everything right internally?
Right, those are significant too. There's just intense competition in the photonics and semiconductor space. They aren't operating in a vacuum. There are big established players. Then there's potential dilution risk. If, or more likely when, new funding is needed, given their negative cash flow, they might have to issue more shares. That reduces the value of existing shares.
Always a risk for cash-burning companies.
Always. And finally, the tech sector itself, and particularly microcap stocks within tech, can experience massive volatility, especially if macroeconomic sentiment sours, or interest rates rise, or risk aversion increases generally. These are often the first stocks investors sell when they get nervous.
Okay. Pulling all this together then, based on everything we've discussed, the fundamentals, the valuation, the risks, the potential catalysts, what's the final verdict on Poet Technologies as an investment opportunity right now? What's the bottom line from the analysis?
The overall rating for Poet Technologies based on this analysis comes out at a 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10. That's pretty low.
It is, and the rationale is quite clear, really. You've got this oversized loss relative to their minimal revenue. You have persistent negative cash flow, and there's just a lack of clear industrial-scale adoption of their technology so far. All this places it firmly in the high-risk, speculative category. And that valuation, that price-to-sales ratio approaching 1,000, it's just fundamentally disconnected from the current financial performance. Now, while management claims they're making manufacturing progress, and yes, the underlying technology might indeed have a bright future, there is simply no hard evidence yet of sustainable revenue growth or any path to margin improvement. So until material commercial contracts are signed, sealed, delivered, or you see repeated significant revenue growth being clearly demonstrated quarter after quarter, the downside risk significantly outweighs the potential upside based on current information.
So not a short-term trade then?
Definitely not recommended for short-term trading. The volatility is extremely high, liquidity is poor. It's only suitable, really, for the most speculative long-term investment allocations. We're talking about capital investors are genuinely comfortable with the very real possibility of losing entirely. Caution is very strongly advised before allocating any significant capital here.
That's a very clear, and I'd say sobering picture. It certainly gives us, and hopefully you listening, a lot to think about. When we look at companies like Poet Technologies, it's such a powerful reminder, isn't it, that these impressive percentage growth figures like that 300% can sometimes mask a very, very early stage reality. It's like celebrating a seedling for growing 300% when it's still just, a few inches tall.
That's a good analogy.
The key takeaway here, I think, is just the absolute importance of looking beyond those surface level numbers, really digging into the underlying fundamentals, understanding the business model, and weighing those associated risks carefully before making any investment decision. The devil, or maybe the opportunity, is always in the details. So what stands out to you most from today's discussion? As you consider these kinds of highly speculative investments, maybe in your own portfolio, how do you personally balance that allure of potentially groundbreaking technology against the very real, often stark financial risks? Something to maybe mull over as you continue your own research and navigate these complex markets. Thank you so much for joining us on Investing Talk Podcast. We really hope this analysis is giving you valuable insights into Poet Technologies and helps you on your investment journey. We'll be back soon with another detailed look at a company you want to understand better.